Make it all about your destiny. Instead of the life you're living and the legacy and the heritage in the Lord and the fruitfulness and taking treasures into heaven and then laying your crown at His feet. Because you know who your crown is? It's people. Paul said, you're my joy and you're my crown. You're going to take everything that brought influence, impact, and change to people, and it's all going to stand before the Lord. And your life surrendered is multiplied after its own kind. And you're going to take that train of lives influenced, impacted, sown into, reaped, and harvested before the Lord. And then you're going to lay it all down before Him, because if it wasn't for Him, you wouldn't even have had the privilege. Yeah. Ain't that something? You're not going to wear some little crown with jewels in it. And then lay it down and pick it up later. Put it on and look kingly. No, you're going to look like Him now. Because He is the King. People, lives impacted and changed. Why is that so important? Because you're selfless. And you care about Him. And you care about others. Because you died to yourself. And you love not your own life unto death. That motive empowers you to be a believer. Because if you don't have that motive, you have the concern for yourself to carry, not a cross. Fear for your own well-being to carry. Sentiment and concern for the health of your family, the protection of your family. And all of a sudden you're living in fear and all your prayers are driven by worry. Boy, look. I wish somebody with passion would have told me these things when I was 20 years old, fresh married. I can't tell you I'd have ran well, but boy, I'd have loved the chance. Ain't nobody ever told me this stuff. Jesus told me in my bedroom. Now I'm a madman for it. A happy madman. Meaning I'm just surrendered. I'm sold out. You're not changing. You're not undoing what He did. He did it. You're not undoing it. I lived 27 years. It's not eternity. It's long enough for my heart to know. He gives me a mic. I'm going to tell it with passion. And here's the beautiful thing. Everybody in this room has the same privilege to believe. There ain't nobody in this room that can't live what I'm saying. If you begin to put your faith and trust in Him, deal with your own hearts, challenge your own motives. Yeah? Say, what makes me tick? Why am I a Christian? Do I read my Bible because I should? I'm proving to my own heart I'm a Christian, so I'm going to read my Bible. No, I'm reading my Bible to know Him, to build my heart up in understanding so I'm not destroyed for the lack of knowledge. I'm studying and showing myself approved so I can discern lies and crush it with truth. I'm building up the weapons of my warfare so I can run a good race. That's why I'm reading my Bible. Yeah. How are you going to know truth if you don't fill your heart with it? How are you going to discern a lie if you don't even know truth? Come on. Isn't that something? My people are destroyed for the lack of power of death and life is in the men are sowing and then they're reaping what they, and then we teach whatever happens is God. And we make God the ultimate authority and control. And if it happened, it's because God, and we don't even think about men are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. We're not even thinking about men sowing a wrong harvest. And somehow we just have God in this position He's never said He's in with Scripture. Yeah? And somehow it's just always God. It's always up to God. It was His decision. Well, He let it happen. Most dangerous phrase in the church. Well, God allowed it. No, He gave the earth to the children of men, told you to have authority, told you not to fear. Told you to study and show yourself approved, and some of us never even read our Bibles. Hello? And then we want to pawn it off and say, well, He allowed it. No, He gave you His kingdom and told you to live it. He gave you a heart, and He gave you a believer and told you to fill it with faith. He gave you a tongue and put power in it. Come on, if He was just going to do whatever, why would He do all those things? See, we grew up hearing, well, what you don't know won't hurt you. That's a lie. What you don't know is destroying you. The devil would love you to buy into earthly language. Well, what you see is what you get. No! What you see is never what you live by. It's always subject to change. What is unseen is eternal. Come on, there's phrase after phrase after phrase that are totally twisted when you read this book. And we grew up in a language that he ain't speaking. And 2 Corinthians 3 said, if any man is wise in this age and thinks he knows this age, he ought to consider himself a fool and know nothing so he can become wise. It's that dramatic in your word. It's that extreme. It ain't give up 50% of it. It's call it all dead. I was homeschooled in the wrong home. I was trained by a lie. There was false teachers in my whole life just called life. Yep. The way that seemeth right to a man has tutored me from the time I can remember. And the motive in my life, self-centered, all about me from the time I can remember. I needed support. I needed love. I needed appreciation. I needed valued. I needed to believe I fit. Come on. And most of us didn't get half of the list. And we became insecure, identity crisis, introverted, or hard, fighter, whatever. Who cares? But in a very young age, at a very short time, we were nothing more than a product of how we responded to how it unfolded. Because we had no truth to make us free. So we were identified by the lie. And then you're 35 and you're still identifying with the lie. Well, you don't know what it was like when I was growing up. Well, you don't know what happened to me when I was 8. Well, you don't know what my mom did to me when I was 11. Well, you don't know what Dad did to me when I was 12. And you're 35. And it's still your language. Why? Because you've been wearing that thing like a garment the whole time. No wonder you don't look good. Because it was never made for you to wear. It doesn't fit you. It's not the right colors. You're to wear Christ. You're to put off the old, strip that thing off, and dress in him. Yep. And then faith says, no matter what it was like growing up, man, you brought me through. No matter what he said, wow, you said something different. No matter what she did, wow, you did something amazing. I'm finding myself through you. This was the truth that was hidden my whole life. This is the real me. This is why I'm alive. And you put on Christ. It's like getting born again. Yay. Are you guys all right? Is it already 9 o'clock? What? 8:56? Just remember, it's 10:56. I'll always have you by 2 hours. You can't catch me all weekend. So I don't want to hear any complaining. No, I'm just kidding. Let me try to